it to the professional.
Blessed by Bundy, blah, blah, blah.
Started off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Surfing on the web and I'm shooting at 3. I've been goated when I got my G. I'm an alien boy from a different planet, yeah. So I got my drink, I'm riding in the 1920s Model T Ford. Call her Era Lord. Call me Levi, playing on the keys, boy. And I'm about to put my gloves on. If I said it, then I meant that. Yeah, I like that one, I'm about to get that. Crash that whip for the drumsticks, whiplash. I'm about to get them all. Are you with that? In a white boat, surrounded by blue. I want one, but I got a cop too. I wanna fly high in the sky, arms out wide, trying to soar from a bird's eye view. I'm on fire, Ricky, Bobby, cracking the pavement, Whitney, Bobby. I'm a Saki bomb, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Bruce Wayne been a dog, and I keep it 101, cause I'm feeling kinda spotty. You sipping on some rock and I'm sipping on octane. The only thing around my neck is the
Started off with a
blockchain.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
NFT, Twitter, blockchain. Seeing with the ghosts and we ballin' like LeBron James. Crypto. We can make a trade, get the memo. Refuse not falling for the FOMO. Listening to Coffee with Captain. You know we worldwide, they loco. I ain't never gon' stop rapping. Orlando, yeah, we working magic. We rocking Ethereum entities. I just went and caught me a half base. Man, I got a shout out
Started
to
off with a
Bode.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Freaking the mood to choose one, but they got knowledge to move, son. I'm shocking in shades with my brother in suits. Yeah, them blues is coming. Even though it's hard to pick, eeny, mighty, mo, soda on the mix, no biting lips, it's time to go. Index number 1, no thumbs up, you gotta scroll. Looking at the ghost in studio, it's time to go. Had a helmet on by myself until I met a mask that wanted to have a face off. Had to bring my chainsaw, full tank of gas in the drive with my brakes off. I'm A1, but a different kind of steak sauce.
Welcome to Coffee with Captain, powered by ApeCoin, where we dive into all things crypto, NFTs, Web3, and cutting-edge technology. Remember, nothing here is financial advice. Early-stage tech can be exceptionally volatile and risky. So grab your coffee and join Cap and Steve for today's conversation.
Welcome to the future.
Welcome to Coffee with Captain GM. Thanks so much for joining. If you haven't already done so, give us a like, a repost, a bookmark on the space. Greatly appreciate it. A lot of OGs out there this morning. Shout out to Teacher Katie, Hizzy, Thomas, Web3 Warhead, and Lost to Gain in the X chat. Says the most consistent show on CT. OGs in the game for real. Appreciate you. Appreciate y'all. You know what to do. I'm actually I think I'm gonna start moving away from the call to actions during the intro. You will find up top the link to the audio space, the X video, as well as YouTube and Abstract. And I do have some alpha on Abstract this morning, or at least some new information, new to me. Anyways, I just saw when I logged into my Abstract portal this morning that I unlocked a new gold tier with my the update yesterday. I didn't go back into the rewards after the show. New gold tier. Gold tier 1 is what it gave me. Before, one of my pieces of feedback or critiques, I guess, was that the gold tier was just so large, and I had essentially given up on leveling up. Like I wasn't going to farm enough to get to platinum. I'm not really farming anyways. I'm just streaming over there. I hold a few assets, hold some Pingu, hold a lot more Pingu thanks to Frosties and all the tip ores over there yesterday. Loading up my Pingu bag. And but long story short, I just saw this morning that these I don't know if it was my feedback, I'm sure it probably was others as well, but the new tier is now available. So whereas before it was like I had to get a million more points to get to the platinum tier and no more. Now I actually have something that I can aspire to level up and get to that is much more attainable. And I'm excited about that. I think that's a good move, and it will cause me to rethink how I'm going about abstract. I might actually put more effort into leveling up because now I feel like I can actually level up. I will. Here we go. This is it. This is what I'm talking about. The abstract tiers is again gold, platinum. Previously, I was again just you can see I've got 268,000 points on the gold tier. I need to get to 1 million to level up to the platinum tier. I'm like, well, that's been quote unquote farming abstract for over a year. I'm only 26% of the way to the platinum tier. I did not think it was feasible or possible without changing how I'm doing things to get to platinum. However, now, well, of course, I'm going to get to gold tier 2. I only have 64,000 left to go. That's new. I'm in gold tier 1, only 64,000 more to get to gold tier 2. So if you've not checked your abstract, some of you might be. I just actually had a quick call with a friend of mine today. I'm going to remain nameless because I don't want to. I may say some other things. It's not directly. I'm not gonna share any alpha per se, but I don't even want to try to connect any dots. I'm just going to say I had a good call right before the show. Missed the second half of Modern Market because I took this call and told them, hey, I'm not sure if you've been in abstract recently, but if not, you might want to log in because there's a good chance that you have a new tier that you can aspire to get to. Appreciate you, Teacher Katie, always with the alpha, our local abstract expert over there. I will share this next. I did just pin it up top, but yeah, there was an update yesterday. I missed the abstract post. This is the other. I said it was cold open material. I'm actually going to show the next thing is how to clean up your X. I just saw it. I can't even remember who initially posted it, but I haven't made the change. I'm going to make I'm going to make some of my changes live because I had no idea this existed, and now I'm hopeful that it also helps clean up my X For You page. Or no, I'm sorry, not the For You. I don't use the For You. I mostly use the following page, but my following page has been really messed up lately because it serves me things that, once again, the X co-host thing is broken. I don't know why this is so broken, but same issues we had yesterday with Outer is just does not want to give people a co-host seat. So I'm just going to leave it up here as a speaker for now. We'll do the co-host another day. Yeah, it's just anytime I accept co-host, it sends the account right back to listener. It's showing muted on the bat phone, so there should not be any echo or any audio, but on my main phone, on the host phone, it's showing that the Coffee with Captain is a speaker that's unmuted. So can you just give me a quick confirmation? No audio, no echo. Do we sound clear in the chat? Are you getting any feedback from the Coffee with Captain account being up there? Does it look as if it's muted to you? I guess if you are having any issues, please let me know in the chat. I'll just boot it from the stage. But Riss saying he was kicked from Twitter a couple times. Yeah, I don't know what's going on the last couple days. Thanks, Oxy. Appreciate the heads up. Good to know it is still broken. Yeah, I guess everyone has to come to YouTube. That is the fix. If X is not working for you, just head over to YouTube right now. Go give us go subscribe to our YouTube account. You'll get the notifications when we go live. Also, speaking of YouTube, we also had if you missed the interview yesterday, or if you would like to play back, I know there was, speaking of audio, some mentioned having some challenges hearing yesterday's show because of the issues with X. If that is the case, head over to here's, by the way, before I move on, I'm just going to read this abstract post which I pulled up on the screen and pinned up top With today's XP update, we introduced tiers, the latest upgrade to abstract reward system. Tiers allow users to progress through 3 ranks within XP tiers while providing a clear view of activity and more tailored experience over time. What's your new rank? Great move. GG's to the abstract team. Appreciate the update. I think this is a good move. It's much more realistic for me to get tier 2, maybe tier 3. And then who knows? Maybe I do find myself grinding towards the platinum tier. Prior to this update, I had no desire to try to grind my way up to something that just seemed. Okay, so hearing that the account is unmuted but no echo, so we'll keep plowing along then. If that changes, let me know. But in the meantime, we'll just keep moving ahead. And then the other topic regarding yesterday's show is that interview is dropped in the chat. I'm going to pin it up above as well. And if you missed the show, or if you did catch the show yesterday, I just want to give us some love on that specific. It's not just the full show is live. Our producer Payne clipped just the interview portion with something we're going to start doing in the future as well for when we do have special guests on for interviews. That was a sponsored interview yesterday, courtesy of our friends over at Reach Network. I really did enjoy the combo with Albert from B Token and Biself Brands. They are the first European company, they're based in Spain, to issue tokens that translate to equity, or at least I should say dividends, and you can participate in the upside. You do have KYC. They are fully compliant, but I'm hopeful that we see more and more of this. Businesses, brands doing it the right way and incorporating perks, real perks in the form of equity or dividends or profit share for those token holders. I know in the US it might be challenging today, but as we've got a very much so a pro crypto administration, and they say they want the US to be the crypto capital of the world. I think this would be one way to do it. Let's give investors, supporters another path towards sharing in the upside of some of these businesses, brands beyond, just going on an IPO or friends and family around, etc. So yeah, that is pinned up top if you missed it. Again, go check your abstract with the updates there. And speaking of programs, there's also, if you are playing the OpenSea game, you've got a few hours left. I think this season closes at noon today. I just did a few swaps this morning to get up to to level up my boxes. Might do a few more before the season ends. They're also offering a 5% bonus on your points over there in the final 24 hours. So I saw Jesus jump up on stage. I said I want to share some X Alpha to clean up your feed. I just became aware of this today. I had no idea. So I'm going to do this, and then we'll get Jesus in here, and you can feel free to take it whichever direction you'd like. But this will be a quick one. Really, this is a PSA, and if you too have been unhappy with what your X algo has been feeding you as of late, whether it's your following or your For You page, this may help. I had no idea this existed. It blew my mind when I opened mine up. But there's something inside of settings called interests, specifically your interests. Apparently, every topic that I've interacted with on X since 2012 through today has notated it as an interest. It says, these are some of the interests matched to you based on your profile, activity, and topics you follow. These are used to personalize your experience across X, including ads you see. You can adjust your interests if something doesn't look right. Any changes you make may take a little while to go into effect. So you might think, okay, Bitcoin, Doge, ETH, Tesla, XRP, ADA cryptocurrency, I guess from from times I've dunked on it on here. Adam Schefter, okay, that makes sense. I actually have noties on for Shefty, so that makes sense. Adventure travel, okay, I'm into that, but not necessarily something that's more of like an Instagram thing versus an X thing. So probably going to uncheck that one. Allstate, no idea what that's in reference to. American football, yeah, I do talk about and engage with American football stuff. Android, I have no reason to be following that stuff on X. Animals, okay, again, also more of an Instagram thing for me. Oposto, I have no idea what that even means. Apple, art, artificial. I'm not going to read all these, but you can see here, IYCA, IYKAC. Again, no idea what that means. Automobile brands, zero interest in following that on X. Automotive, zero interest in following that on X. You can see I'm just in the A's so far. I'm going to scroll down just so you can get an idea of how extreme these interests are. And now I'm in the B's. Now I'm in the C's. Some of these, again, I don't even know what they are. Do I care about college football from 23, 24? No, absolutely not. So I'm going to go through, I'm not going to do it all live, but Danny Rivera, Dan Brazilian. Have I ever interacted with a Dan Brazilian post? Maybe once. Maybe maybe someone shared it with me, but I'm not looking for Dan or anything he's talking about in my Twitter feed. So the things that no clue what this is. Dexter was a cool show. Yeah, but I don't want to be served Dexter stuff in my X feed. I will go through and I'm probably going to uncheck 90, 95% of these. Maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't. But I'm curious if any of you have done this. Do any of you ever actively manage your quote unquote interests on X? Has anyone went through and done a cleanup? If so, did it help? I'm hopeful it helps. I just found it in real time, just saw it this morning. I will be cleaning it up today and I'll update everyone. I mean, it does say, it says it could take a few days to go into effect. But like, again, college football 2023, it's probably not overly relevant because there's probably not many people talking about college football 2023. I got some highlight from 2023, wondering why the heck that's showing in my feed. Maybe this is why. Zira Goons, again, no idea what that even means. I have no clue what some of this stuff is, but X thinks it is a interest of mine. Wine. I don't even drink, but yet Twitter is serving me up posts on wine because it thinks I'm interested in it. So I don't know. Jesus, have you managed your interests on X? Did you know this was even a thing? And
no, bro, I'm trying to and I seen somebody in the abstract chat asking, I can't even find it. Where did you, when you were in settings, where did you see interest at?
So Carbon had the tweet. I will post this. I'm just going to pin this post up top as well because I just clicked through Carbon's tweet. He says, just sent 10 minutes unclicking interests, anything I've ever mentioned, anything I've ever interacted with, even people I've never heard of or my interests. Maybe things get a little better now. And I clicked his link. I believe it's a valid link at x.com. So I think you're pretty safe in clicking through, but it didn't leave the app either. It just took me right through, right to that setting. So I'll pin this up top. I'm near certain.
Okay, somebody's saying it's under privacy and safety is what they're saying.
Doesn't make sense why it would be under safety, but here we are. I did pin that up top. I'm near certain it's a safe link. I don't think Carbon's a scammer. And when I click it, it doesn't even leave the app. It just takes me to settings. And then, let me see if I can go through it just directly through settings. Where's settings? I don't even know where you get to settings.
It was right there under more. Hit more, and then it's at the bottom.
And privacy. Okay, settings and privacy. And then...
Yeah, and I don't directly see... Oh, then content you see. So when you go to privacy and then go to content you see, and then there's interest. The very first thing is for me is hashtag happy Friday, happy Monday, happy Saturday. What the hell?
Unreal, right? I saw some others this looks like a 2020 time capsule. Hey, maybe this doesn't fix anything. Maybe it just is something that they don't even pay attention to anymore. Maybe they've went so far away with their algorithm tweaks that this is even relevant, and we're just wasting our time. I don't know.
Allstate.
I become so frustrated with my, not even the For You, it's fine. I understand why they would serve up what they do in the For You page. I get it. My frustration has been with the following page because it's basically become a For You that if someone I follow comments on something, well, all of a sudden that's all I see on my following page. I just don't want that stuff. So I'm going to take this approach, see if it helps, maybe do the same thing. I can't hurt, I don't think, to uncheck things that you simply aren't interested in. So maybe it doesn't do any good, but I don't think it can hurt. I'll be spending a few minutes unchecking interest today on my X settings. Kind of a difficult path to get there, but the clean link is up top from Carbon if you want to do the same. I'm sure that's not why you came up to the stage. GM, Cheese, it's always a pleasure. What did bring you up today?
Yeah, GM. I just seen you talking about the abstract and the opportunities over there, and I express, we've been talking about abstract. I just posted yesterday. I've been live on abstract now. When you go to AbScan, you can go to analytics and find all this information when you put your wallet in. But yesterday was 1 year. Now I'm at 1 year and 2 days live on abstract. And being able to see the amount of transactions you're doing. Saigar has posted, you want to make sure your X account is definitely linked. but also that on-chain transactions, like do activity that causes on-chain transactions. And, I think they're really within the last 2 months, ever since the FUD that happened, around when Finn got, let go. And like, I could see a shift in the abstract team and a lot of the things that they've been doing. I got on a call with Raj, had a really good call with him from a creator standpoint on abstract. And a lot of the things that we talked about, they're implementing. And, I think that's also other creators as well, giving them kind of similar feedback. But I think people are missing out on really big opportunities, not just to farm abstract. And you remember in the original days, like a year ago, everybody's like, "Oh, you don't farm abstract. You actually, you just enjoy the app or whatever in the hell was being said." At the end of the day, you're still farming. And but I think people are missing multiple opportunities by being able to double and triple farm other brands that are on abstract.
What would you have an example? Like, what's your favorite double, triple farm on abstract?
Myriad markets. Like everybody is so laser focused on Kalshi and Poly Market because they have the most mind share. Then you see Try Limitless because it was on Cookie. And like I listened to the Binance space yesterday. They had all the top prediction market people in there. Dingaling was in there. I didn't even know this guy had a prediction market.
What is it? I don't either.
Yeah, it's like Predict.fun. And he was up there representing that. And I'm like, so for me, I was a Rug Radio creator. I've gotten to know Farouk and Sims and the team and all these guys and Loxley and all them. They're all a great group of guys. They're backed by some of the biggest people. They know the biggest people in the space. And I'm like, these guys are going to cook. They don't have the mind share. They haven't announced a big raise yet. In doing USDC volume over there has allowed me to not only now, farm Myriad at the same time that I'm farming abstract because I'm getting XP for all the volume that I do on abstract, And even if you don't have money to place USDC wagers on prediction markets, even when you interact with their point system, it still counts as a transaction, an on-chain transaction, because the points are on chain.
This is important. Do you mind repeating that for someone who hasn't heard that for the first time? Just like highest level, what do you even mean by USDC versus points? And this isn't like you're farming points. This is participating in the prediction market without putting any capital at risk. Do you mind just like for those that's first time hearing that kind of higher level explaining exactly what you can do without putting any capital at risk and how you can, in this case, double dip with Myriad and abstract?
Yeah, 100%. So when you go to Myriad, you start off with nothing. You have 0 points. Once you create the account, the very first thing you need to do is go to the Earn tab. When you go to the Earn tab, you do all the different things in there that you can earn. It's a lot of following and reposting, but you can end up with about 600,000 points in Myriad. Then you can take those points, and there's 2 different types of markets. There's USDC, and then there are points markets. And there's a filter for them. You can just filter which way you want to go. And every time that you go in and make a prediction on the point side, you're still creating an on-chain transaction that is happening on the backside on abstract. So, for me, when I've been in Myriad since before, like I was in beta. So before anybody even knew about Myriad, I was already testing it. We had a show once they started talking about it. Me and Ben used to do a show called the Myriad. I think it was Myriad Hour or something like I can't even remember. But you can participate in a prediction market by doing it with these points. Now, the way you earn more points is every day you can go in and collect points. Each day going up to 10 days, the points increase. Where by the 10th day, like tomorrow, oh no, never mind, I'm claiming it right now. My day 10 streak, I got 25,000 points. Then it resets. So then you can claim your points once every 24 hours. So you got to make sure you don't claim until you're ready to claim. And then you just go predict. Now, there are a lot less markets right now on points.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, there's there's like 7 markets. There was like 20 some odd markets, but a lot of the markets were sports related. There was who's winning the AFC East, the NFC East, so there was a lot of different markets there in points, but there's still some there with a lot of opportunity, and these are going to be considered towards your airdrop on Myriad. So when you go to your profile there and you go to the leaderboard, the way Myriad is scoring this is you have a USDC score, which is your volume. Then you have a referral score. So Myriad allows you, if you have the extension installed, Myriad allows you to share a prediction market to the timeline. Someone can predict from the timeline on X without ever leaving X, as long as they have the extension. So Cap, you're really good at, you guys used to, you have your football show. And so if that's like of an interest, you're like, okay, well, here's the Michigan and Ohio game. They have a Myriad market. I put it on the timeline. You get a referral volume and you earn from anyone that predicts on that particular market. So then you also have the point score. Then on top of that, you have a multiplier. The multiplier is only given to you based off of USDC volume. And on Abstract, you can get up to a 2x on the multiplier. On the BNB side, if you do $500 in USDC volume, then you're going to end up getting a 3x multiplier for your points. So all 4 of these things add up to be what your total score is for the upcoming airdrop of Ticker Mir or MYR. And it's really important, because then it also goes back to Abstract, because once you do $500 in USDC volume on Abstract, you're going to be able to claim the Myriad Grand Master badge. That's a badge that is you can still claim it now. The original badge that came out on Abstract, I don't think that one is still eligible to claim. I would have to create another account and then actually just go sign up for Myriad. That's how you got the other badge. But that one was only like a 7-day badge.
How do you get the master badge again?
You get $500 in USDC volume.
Oh, that should,
it's like, even right now, you could use, anybody could test it. You could go on any market, make sure it's not one that has 0 fees. You got to do one that has fees. It'll cost you a few bucks. Like put $250 on it and then turn around and sell it right away. And then give it a few minutes. You should be able to refresh your Abstract, and then you're going to see the badge pop up.
That's okay. Sell it right away, or do one that's near, like ready to end, like one that ends in a day or two and is like almost a foregone conclusion.
You don't even have to keep the bet in there.
You just
bet on it, wait 30 seconds, and then just sell your position.
Smart.
You might lose a few bucks, but it's still going to give you a little bit of volume over there. Now, this is where the triple farm comes in, because Zeet, which is also an Abstract product by the Bears team and all these guys, Zeet had a Myriad tournament. Well, depending on the badges you had, your multiplier on Myriad, all the things you did, they gave you multipliers on your Zeets that you earned in the Myriad competition. So now that I had the highest multiplier, I have, I don't know, it's like a lot of volume in USDC. And I had all these things. Now it gave me a boost on farming for Zeet, which gave me more Zeets in the Myriad tournament. So that allowed me to get first place in that tournament. So now, not only did I farm Abstract, I farm in Myriad, and I'm farming Zeet at the same time.
Smart. This is how you farm.
And there's many opportunities like this on Abstract.
Yeah, appreciate you sharing. This is how you farm. Do so in ways that, now, in this example, I think we talked about like $500 USDC, but you're not having to put that at risk. I mean, I guess, yes, there's always risk of smart contract and et cetera, but the reality is it might cost you a few bucks, not $500. And there's ways to multiply that. I don't even put capital spend. It's just it's clicking buttons and moving funds around.
Yeah.
Find opportunities where you can double dip, triple dip, rack up these. It is the reality is markets are ripping. If I think a lot of these TGs were planned for Q1 anyways. I think if markets continue like this, it's unlikely that many of them delay. Might a few, sure, but I do think we could hit a TGE season. And this isn't like, I know some people just are allergic to farms. I'm not a big fan of farming, but at the same time, there's protocols that I use, protocols that I don't think are going anywhere, and it's silly of me to not take a little extra action and leave so much potential rewards on the table. So yeah, appreciate you sharing. This is real alpha, and good shout out with Z as well as far as that triple dip, especially for those that are deep in abstract. If there is a look at the Z campaigns, look at what tournaments are out there, look at what campaigns they have live, and if it's one that you're actively using on abstract, probably send a tweet out about it and see if it gets you any extra zeets and up those leaderboards. Not to mention, not just the leaderboard or a potential tournament. There's a chance Z has a TGE someday. There's just many, and if you're doing the thing, talk about it. It's easier. Like, that's the other thing is Amplify now. Z they can tie in on-chain components, so you're going to get the if you miss it, Cheese is getting multipliers because he's not just talking about Myriad. He's using Myriad, and they can see that.
Yeah. And for me, man, it's like, this is my full-time job. I do Web3 full-time. I'm on my X, 12 to 15 hours a day, which is very unhealthy. But if I'm going to be here, I'm going to participate.
Yep.
I'm not just going to sit on the sidelines. I'm going to do everything that I can. And I'm going to jump behind the biggest names in the space, because they're the biggest names for a reason. They know how to drive attention. They know how to distribute. And if they don't know how, they have people that are highly connected behind them that can, push those other ways. So, for me, abstract, I think, is going to be a massive win in those people that have stayed active on here. And the other thing for me is the badges. I think the badges are very, very important on abstract. And I've gotten in arguments with this because, I think it shows historical presence. And it's like, it almost goes back to Ryan Carson when he was doing his POAPs. He was like the POAP king. It's like, these are soulbound tokens. They're non-transferable. You can't sell them. And, but it shows that, okay, Cheese has been here. He's got 39 of these badges. I think there's only like 41. But there's still ways to get other badges. If you have a group of friends right now, Cap, do you have the sock badge? Golden sock badge?
I don't have the sock badge, no.
Okay, so if you have a group of friends that don't have the sock badge, I don't know what the NFT is on Dilly or whatever that site is. I think it's like $300. Find a group of friends that's willing to go in with you. You get the NFT, you claim the badge. The badge is still claimable. You buy the NFT, you buy the socks. Okay, you claim that badge, then you transfer it to another trusted friend. They claim the badge. It goes around the whole circle. Then you take the NFT, you take the highest WETH offer, and then you guys split the difference from what you paid for it with it. If you have a big enough group of people, then that cost could end up being very minimal just to get that one badge that some people paid several $1,000s for, So there's ways to still get some of these badges that are around. Just people don't know about it. And that's the big thing is, just figuring all this stuff out. But I do think abstract's going to be a cook.
I really appreciate you sharing that. I mean, more out there. I just asked in the war room who wants to buy some digital socks with me. There's some may not like it. Like, oh, that's cheating. That's farming. It's you're playing the game. Like, I'm not saying I love the game, but I'm not gonna hate on the players. That's for sure. Like,
bro, I had those socks. I bought it for $800, and then somebody came on my stage and was like, "Hey, you can sell those, right?" And then like the badge is soulbound. It's not going to go anywhere. And I'm like, damn, it just hit me right here. And I lost $300 because I just went ahead and sold the socks.
And here's the thing, I guess. I said I'm going to stop saying not financial advice, don't hold disclaimers. You all, like, if you're taking financial advice from me at this point in 2026, like you seek help. 1-800-GAMBLER. Do I think abstract TGE is going to be a $20-30 billion TGE? Not particularly. I think Luca's got some very lofty goals, but I appreciate that he's striving, he's swinging for the stars, right? Maybe it opens at 100 million and everyone's down bad. And you're glad, and then you're taking a victory out because you didn't spend any time farming. There is a world where it opens up at 10 billion or 20 billion, and you were here the whole time. You were just talking about it. You were on there, but you didn't click a few extra buttons, and you see friends sharing screenshots on the timeline of 4, 5, 6-figure airdrops, and then you're kicking yourself because you were here. You could have done it. You just didn't take the extra effort to click a few extra buttons. We don't know how it's going to turn out. You make a compelling point, like Abstract's pretty well connected. I don't think they're going anywhere. I do think they've lost a little bit of momentum. However, to your point, I also think they're starting to gain some back. We're starting to see some changes. This tier thing, you may think that's a small change. It is a positive change. You can't convince me otherwise. And they don't need to be, not every announcement, not every change needs to be something that's going to be the talk of the town for an entire week on crypto Twitter. Sometimes just book small wins. Just listen to feedback. Make those small changes. People complain they killed the badge program. They bought the badges back. These are all good wins. And I think this is sort of stuff as we know we're in TGE season. You see, here's the list of here's 40 airdrops you can be farming. Here's 50 airdrops you can be farming. A lot of them are going to be worthless. But if you look at the brands like Abstract and OpenSea and Moonbirds, will they all meet everyone's expectations? Probably not. It's near impossible to make 5,000 holders of an NFT collection happy, let alone 100,000 plus users of these major protocols. MetaMask is another one, right? Like, these are ones that if you've been here, I think my opinion, you're doing it wrong if you're not doing the bare minimum. To at least get qualified for their lowest tier. Maybe you don't go collect, you don't have to go the Jesus route where you've got 39 of 41 badges, but I think, at least look at it, at least be aware of where you're at. Like, maybe you open up your Abstract rewards portal today, like I did. Okay, I've only got 20. I'd stopped caring about my points altogether because in my head, I'm just not going to get to next tier. I'm not going to get to platinum. So I'm fine just streaming and I'll just take whatever they give me. Now, well, you better believe I'm at least going to get to gold tier 2 because I'm only 26,000 points away. I get when I had some more assets on there, I was like 10,000 a week. Now I'm probably close to like 5,000 or 6,000 a week. I'm going to make sure I get to gold tier 2 because it's within reach. It's within striking distance. And I think things like this matter. And not only the specifics, but what matters to me more so is the team's listening, they're hearing feedback, and they're making some changes. So
yeah, and at the end of the day, bro, you won't be the one that says, damn, I wished I would have really went a little bit harder on Abstract.
Yep, exactly.
Could you? Yeah, of course you could, but there's only so much you can only give so much of your attention to so many things in the space. And for me, it's like I'm looking at Zeet, I'm looking at Abstract, I'm looking at Myriad. OpenSea is a no-brainer for me.
Yep.
Like, when I look at that Dune analytic board that I don't know who runs this, like 95% of the wallets are just in wood, iron, and steel.
Yep.
In titanium. So the first 4, which cost very little to get to that number. So and if you don't think these treasures are going to have an impact at TGE, and everybody's just sitting there saying, oh, I spent all this money and I used the platform so much back in 3 years ago. They want to also see what you're doing now and how present you are.
Absolutely.
And that's why, like, I'm trying to get, every beta thing that they've ever done, even when they bought OpenSea Pro, I was there. Like, I jumped into the beta, and or when they bought, what was it? Genie, was it Jim or
Genesis, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
no. That's the Genesis NFT.
What was the,
I think it was Genie.
Genie? Help us out, chat. What was it, Genie or Jim? I can't remember the name of the.
That was one of them did an airdrop. Then I was like, oh, I'm gonna go start using the other one, and then OpenSea buys it, and I'm like, no.
That's funny.
I was like, shit. But yeah, man, I mean, you're here enough. You might as well click buttons.
Yep. And go click buttons today. Like, especially, I don't know. We don't know when Abstract TGE is up. What we do know is this season of OpenSea, it ends at noon today. So you get about 3 hours. Again, if you're at zero and you're just like, I'm just not doing it this time, that's fine. But if you log in there and you've got like, within each tier, they've got the bars and you're at like 97% of your box, go do a USD to USD swap, spend 30 cents in fees or maybe $3 in fees to get to the next tier. As she's just said, 90% of the participants, there's a lot of people. It's crowded, but 90% of them are in the first 4 tiers. So if you're on tier 4 and you could go do a couple swaps and get to tier 5, it's probably worthwhile. Is it going to be a guarantee? No. But I'll tell you this, is if you're listening today and you hear this conversation and then it ends up being a huge print, you're probably going to be kicking yourself that you didn't take it. It's like, I'm not saying you're lazy if you don't do this. I understand it's not for everyone. I'm going to speak for myself. I've left money on the table when it comes to airdrops because I get lazy, or I'm not a lazy person, but I don't prioritize things that I don't necessarily enjoy. And sometimes Jesus said he works here full time. So do I. Like if I see $1,000 on the sidewalk, I'm picking it up. Shit, man, if I see a $10 bill on the sidewalk, I'm picking it up. There's been many times I've just stepped over 10, 20, probably $1,000 bills here in crypto because I'm like, oh, I'm too good for that. I'm too good to go click a few buttons. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And the biggest thing I can say to people is, follow your gut. For me, I've lost the biggest trades by not following my gut instinct and listening to others and taking their opinion into like too much of my thought process. And while that's good sometimes to listen to others, I see so many people that are angry and FUD, the OpenSea airdrop. In that it's going to be, it's going to be chicken nugget meal money. And, I really don't think so. I think, and I see Steven here with them acquiring him and Adam and like picking some of the smartest people in the space to help, in real traders, like people that have been in the trenches, people that have bought NFTs for years, like Devin and them are going after some of the biggest names to make sure they get it right. And it's important. And I noticed you didn't have the Adam tweet pinned up there from 14 hours ago. And I don't even know if you've seen it, where he gave an update on the waves and preparation for TGE. It's a really good post. And I was going to talk about it today in my space as well.
Yeah. I'll go grab it now. Do you want to give us a quick TLDR? I will pull it up on, give me 30 seconds. I'll have it pulled up on the screen.
Yeah. So right now it looks like, they are doing testing. They're doing a lot of testing in the background. They're bringing on traders. They're looking for active traders that want to help participate in testing some of these products. So if you are interested in that, make sure you comment on that tweet. And even at Adam, even though you commented, because it does have 546 comments, make sure that you get in there because the OpenSea mobile testing is underway. And it's fantastic. But they're looking at that. They're adding those products. Then on top of that, they talked about the historical volume use is still going to be, very much so meaningfully considered. They talked about how they are preparing for TGE. It's going to be happening soon. I don't know. It's just me. I'm excited, bro.
Yeah.
And, the transparency from the team, top notch. I mean, these guys, Adam's always in the Discord. He pops in there randomly, answers questions. And I'm very bullish on these guys. They're and plus me and the founder have the same first name. So you can't argue with that.
Today I learned Jesus' real name. I just thought your real name was Jesus and you went with Jesus in the NFT brand or arena. But I mean, we you're talking about the changes and the seeming shift at Abstract. I'm not trying to go PvP here, but yeah, it's if you've been in this space, it's hard not to notice the investment that OpenSea has made in people. Yes, I'm biased. No, I'm not glazing Steve because he's in the room. He's one of my best friends. He co-hosted this show for 1,000 episodes. Do I think OpenSea acquired a superstar? Yeah, absolutely. And it's not just Steve, it's Adam. And there's so many other people on the team that because of Adam and Steve and my relationship with them, I got to know more. And it's like, it's not just Adam and Steve. There's a lot of rock stars on that team that's kind of behind the scenes. And some of you may not know, but many of them are not just deep in crypto and Web3. They're professionals. They have backgrounds that they're really building a strong leadership team. Are they going to be perfect? Are they going to make everyone happy? No, but there's been it's a 180 since. I'm not saying it's just Adam. Obviously, they acquired, we're talking acquisitions. It was Jim.xyz. Thank you, Payne, for that. It wasn't just Adam or Jim XYZ acquisition. They acquired the Floor app or became Rally and got Chris and Christina and that team with that. Like they've brought on a lot of talent, and they are listening. They are communicating better. Yes, I'm not just biased towards my friends, but I'm biased towards crypto native brands that prioritize professionals. And no offense to the Web3 internship posters of the world, those have a place as well. But we've been saying for years that the lowest hanging fruit for a lot of these crypto native brands is to bring on individuals that have professional backgrounds, in particular communications and PR and marketing, and they've done that. I've got Adam's tweet pulled up here. If you're not looking at the video, I'll just do a quick quote here. He says, "GM y'all, with the new year underway, I wanted to share an update on what's coming at OpenSea. We've been heads down building, testing, and refining. There's a lot cooking. We've been battle testing our new products. Behind the scenes, we've been spending a ton of time with active traders and collectors, getting their feedback to help shape OS mobile and hyperliquid perps. We can't wait to get these in your hands. All these assets, all your positions, all your wallets, all your chains, all in one place, all in your pocket. By the way, if you're interested in helping us, drop a note below. You should connect and link your wallets on OpenSea. First, this will enable a magical experience with OS Mobile, where you'll be able to manage your entire combined portfolio. Second, with TGE on the horizon, it'll give Foundation a holistic view of your on-chain history and connect current activity to otherwise dormant wallets. Preparation for the Foundation's TGE is well underway. Lots happening on this front. Everyone is rallying to get it right. A reminder that historical volume will be meaningfully considered by the Foundation, as will treasures from our rewards program, which will continue through TGE, with half our fees going into the prize pool each wave. Thank you for your feedback and support." Yeah, I appreciate you calling attention to that. I had not missed it, but now that we figured out this alpha on X to uncheck all those interests that I've never been interested in, hopefully my X feed actually serves up posts like this that I actually would like to see in the future.
Bro, I'm still looking at this like this is a mess over here.
Right?
Entertainment awards, entertainment franchises, entertainment industry. What I think it does is it takes keywords and it's just adding it in there constantly, is what I think it's doing. Like things that you type is what I think it's like things you may have. But I don't know. High School Musical? I never fucking look up High School Musical.
Dude,
what the hell?
my like this is actually, I do want to see this. This isn't like this is not an engagement or a bait here. I'm actually genuinely curious. Go click that link from Carbon up top. Go look at your quote unquote interest that X thinks you're interested in, and drop in the chat the most absurd, ridiculous one. Right now, Risk Brian is the clubhouse leader. Risk Brian had an interest, or X thought he was interested in, artistic swimming. Like, I don't know if like what could you even possibly talk about to make X think you were interested in artistic swimming? Like maybe synchronized swimming during the Olympics a few years ago. That's the only thing I can possibly think. Like, what is it in? Or like, I guess that's what artistic swimming is. I have no idea, but I'm not knocking Risk. Like, if you're into some weird, hobbies, by all means, go be an artistic swimmer. But let us know, what is the most random, off the wall, quote unquote, interest that X thinks you're interested in. Drop that in the chat, because yeah, it is. My jaw dropped when I opened mine. I'm like, what in the world? Because some of it's like ridiculous, absurd stuff. Some of the others, it's like, I have no idea what it is. I can't fathom ever engaging with that thing, ever mentioning that thing. It's just, it's really bad. And if that actually does have any impact on our algorithm, well, let's hope it does, and we can clean it up pretty quickly. Last point, Jesus, and if there's any other airdrops or anything we missed, I do appreciate you coming up today and sharing. And also, please do, if you got your upcoming space, if you want to plug it, drop it up above. The least we can do to return the favor for you, helping to bring some extra alpha today. Would love to support other fellow content. Oh, I do have a question for you before I go to this next one.
Yeah.
Is there anything I should be doing, or other content creators should be doing, specific to Abstract, other than streaming? Is there any, and the Z tournaments? Is there anything else that we should be focused on, or at least taking a look at when it comes to creating content on or around or for Abstract?
I think if you're wanting to advance in like the different tiers to be Giga Chad and graduated elite Chad, those types of things, is finding what you like on abstract and then creating content around that.
Okay.
Like and I'm not saying this to anybody in here to try and get it, whether anybody in here is listening or not. Like I've been trying to get Giga Chad for a year and haven't gotten it yet. It'll come at some point, but it's like and these are massive achievements. That's plus 75%. And then you got to have graduated elite Chad before it. So that's 100% more XP you would get each week.
Wow.
So it's very, very big. And so I would say just try and find stuff that you like. I mean, there's so many different apps, so many different things over here. Just get in and find stuff that you that you may like. And a lot of the things are very minimal cost.
Yep.
Quit wasting, but the trenches aren't back. Quit wasting money on buying 10K shitters.
Yep.
Take that little bit of money, come to a product that I think, is going to be pushed really well, this year, and invest some of that money over there. You have great teams with Bearish. Those guys are really good, and they help a lot of people in on the abstract side. You have Seed Phrase over there with Wolf Game, which is like, I understand it's the 900th iteration. It's like Wolf Game's almost borderline turning into Miladies because there's so many variations of this. So, but like, do that. Try and get your on-chain transactions up, because that I think is going to be very important. I think right now I'm at 59,455 transactions on abstract.
Wow. This is, and if you want to see how many transactions you've got on abstract, there's probably a couple ways. This is Alpha from Be Epic in the chat. Go to AbScan, copy your address into the search bar, then click analytics, and you can see your activity by week, day. Here's what he's got pulled up. The one I pulled up, I believe this is Be Epic that he's screenshotted here. 157,000 transactions.
That's ridiculous.
Active for 346 days. Unique active days, 331. Not sure what the difference is there, but longest streak, 269 days, and it gives you the heat map here of that activity. I wholeheartedly agree. I think a lot of people maybe went there early and they started buying NFTs or they started buying shitters, and then their bags went down. Like, forget this, I'm out. This isn't worth it. I'm losing money buying stuff that is down 50% the next day. You don't have to buy things. Go find something. Maybe you're not into prediction markets. Go find something there that you are. It doesn't have to be everything. Find one thing on the chain, ideally something that you can double or triple dip on. But I do think, or don't, but if you're there, I think as we start getting closer to these TGEs, there probably is something to be said for remaining active, getting re-engaged. If you did a lot of OpenSea activity in 21, 22, 23, it might behoove you to re-engage so that they can see, oh, this person is still around. They're still active. I don't know this, but maybe there is one criteria is like, oh, they did a transaction in every year since 2021. If you haven't done anything since in the 14 days in 2026, I'm making this up. I have no idea, but it can't hurt, especially if it's something that is little or no cost. So the other thing, I don't know if you see the abstract chat right now, Jesus, but between abstract chat and in our DGen war room, we might now have a competition over groups of people buying these socks today. So I apologize if we inadvertently pump the socks floor, but some real alpha here on
if everybody just does it as a group instead of going and buying.
Did I my favorite thing?
Sorry, I had a call.
That's okay.
I had a call come through.
My favorite thing I just saw as I went to go check is Steve heard, and he went to check one of his interests that Twitter has identified for him as Ben Shapiro. That might be right now. He's leapfrog risk Brian. Steve has the best interest as per X in the chat. See if you can beat Ben Shapiro in your X interest. We've got artistic swimming and Ben Shapiro are the top two quote unquote non-interests so far. But yeah, there is. this is exciting, right? It's we're heating up. Markets are ripping. We're going to have some TGEs. Even if you've not been active every single day, even if your activity doesn't look like B Epics, I would encourage you all to at least consider, at least evaluate, at least have a plan or a strategy and think, okay, this is coming, this is coming, this is coming. I want to spend some time on this. This one thing I'm interested in. You don't have to do them all, but the ones, I don't know how well the OpenSea I'd be making it up if I knew how well it was going to do. I don't know how well the abstract TG is going to do. I just don't know. But what I do know is I respect the teams. I know they've been around for a while. I know they're not fly by night. And I also feel pretty confident they're not going anywhere post TG. So as you look at these lists this is just one, the first one I found when I searched, there's well more than 40, but you can find a lot of lists. Oh, there's 40 airdrops coming. Find ones that you're at least aware of. Like I'm on record. I'm a very bullish Mega ETH. I'm really excited to explore that ecosystem and other dApps inside that ecosystem, like Euphoria. What I'm not going to do today, unless someone gives me a good reason, I'm not going to go start farming Raikou and Ralio and Fairblock just because they're on some list. I have no idea what they are. For all I know, it could be a rug pull. It could be a scam. I'm not saying it is. Please don't take this out of context. I'm just saying I'm here every day, and half of these on this list, I'd have to guess to even tell you what they might be. I've never heard of them. I don't know. Maybe that's a leak in my game, but I don't care. I'm not trying to farm every TGE this quarter. I want to at least do the bare minimum to qualify to position myself for the ones that I think might have a shot. And if I end up focusing on the one, if I did nothing but those three, Mega ETH, OpenSea, and an abstract. Now I'm doing more, but let's say it was just those three, and one of the three ends up being a home run, I'm going to be happy I did. Conversely, if I know in my head those are three that I pay attention to, it's three that I'm going to participate in, it's three teams that I have confidence in, and I don't do the bare minimum, and then the TG isn't being a print, I'm going to be pissed off. Like I'm going to be on full tilt. So part of this is, hey, I want to position myself to be quote unquote lucky. It's also kind of a defensive play that I don't want to be having FOMO come TGE because I just ignored it, or I was lazy with my on-chain activity. Is there anything, whether it's on this list or any others we haven't mentioned, Jesus, that's top of your radar beyond the big ones we just mentioned? Anything else that you want to give a shout out to in terms of upcoming TGEs or active farms?
No, I mean, I really just focus on those things within Abstract and some of those other brands. Like if you like DeFi, there's Aborian Finance there where you can go in. You can stake liquidity in there, add liquidity, play that whole, the whole DeFi game over there, and still get abstract rewards that way. I would imagine they'll, this is Web3, so 9 times out of 10, there's going to be a token associated with a product that comes out. You just have to be able to do the research. Mm-hmm. And figure out, is this a brand that I want to support? Do I want to even waste my time here and participate in it? And what is the future past the TGE?
Exactly.
And when I see Adam's post, he ends it with like, basically, these waves are going to continue post TGE. We're going to continue rewarding. We're not going to just keep the 50% bump that we did. We're going to keep rewarding people that are actively using the platform. And and that's in my mind is a good thing. And OpenSea is pretty much, it's my home for NFTs. I don't really mess around anywhere else. Other than that, just still waiting on some other things that, that I've invested in, a while back to come to fruition. So
it's smart.
Yeah,
it's smart. No, really appreciate you sharing. Again, if you got a link to Next Space, do please drop that up above, or just shout it out. Right, I know you stream 5 days a week. Is it regular recurring time?
Yeah, it's 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Eastern. And I'll pin the tweet up for today's post. Awesome. For today's stream, and it gets chaotic. Trust you me, it's not as organized as you as you do here. We keep it that way. We try, but we get some unhinged people come on stage sometimes, and it gets a little crazy.
That keeps it fun. That keeps it fun. And
it keeps it fun. Yeah.
You're live here on X as well as streaming on Abstract, right?
Yeah, X, Abstract, and Kick as well.
So. Awesome. Tell me about Kick. Yeah. Should I be? We've we're really focusing. We want to grow our YouTube account this year. That's a key focus of distribution for us. Sell me on Kick for a minute. Why if I'm going to do one thing other than YouTube, why Kick over Twitch, or some people mentioned LinkedIn Live?
Yeah, for me, it's just like I'm streaming. I have destinations through StreamYard where I can send it to. So it's like if I can get more and more people, if I can just reach one new person a day, like that's good for me. If I can reach 5, then that's fantastic. And whether it brings them in to buy anything that I'm talking about or any of my interest or my bags, or even if it helps onboard them onto Abstract or something else that in the future, like, introduces things to them that they never knew about, then cool. For me, Kick is kind of in line with my partner, Toshi Bet. So, I do streaming over there. So that's kind of more so the reason. But like even you see like Farouk and them, they moved to Kick, and they still stream on X. I think if you can put your platform on as many, if you can put your brand on as many platforms as possible, there's nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean?
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's spreading the audience out, but if you have a home base for them to go to, then you're good to go.
I'm curious, if you don't mind me asking, we're getting a little into the weeds here in creator content, but I appreciate you jumping up, and I am truly curious. When you talk about spreading your audience, do you that is probably the biggest reason for us to not go with all these platforms, because then you end up with 5 people in this chat, 5 people in this chat, and then you got all these different chats you're managing live. Not that it's not doable, but we run, man. I mean, pain is the glue behind the scenes, but as far as managing all these different chats can be challenging, especially if it doesn't pull back into the StreamYard feed, like you mentioned. Is, I guess, any suggestions there, or does Kick and everything pull into StreamYard and you're managing StreamYard plus Abstract?
No, bro. I'm flipping through. I am flipping through different tabs all the time, because StreamYard only brings in your. It'll bring in your Kick, your YouTube, and I think Twitch is also on there, but like X is not on there. Abstract is definitely not on there. So I have screens just split with multiple windows that are up to where I can see all 3 chats at the same time. And then I'm just trying my best to talk to people, to manage it, and try and stay engaged with them at the same time as hosting a space. So
I will say this. One thing that Abstract did is they now sort their recommended streams by live listeners, and Coffee with Captain popping in the first spot over there. So appreciate y'all. Appreciate everyone ever listening and tuning into Abstract.
I'm watching you right now. Why did you change the background? What happened? Like where are you at? In the closet?
You mean right now, like as far as what you might have saw in the past?
Yeah. In the past, you had your TV, you had the whole blue screen in the background. You were like in an office.
Yep, good call. I've been, for all intents and purposes, homeless for about 6 months. I Airbnb'd it for a while, traveled around a little bit, and I kid you not, though, it's funny you ask. I wasn't going to say anything, but I actually picked up keys yesterday. So I'll probably be moving a little bit of stuff this week, get the U-Haul over the weekend, clear out the storage unit, and actually come Monday, I should be settled back in a proper office, and we'll throw some things behind it to make it look more like an actual streamer, not just a closet.
Nice. Yeah, no, I didn't know what was happening. It looked like a ransom video at times. I was like, what happened to Captain? I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on. So
you should have seen it when I had the virtual background up. People really thought I got kidnapped. They thought it was a ransom video.
Oh my God. Yeah. I just moved back into my house, and for over a year I streamed in my garage, but I built an entire fake wall behind me.
Okay.
And people didn't even know I was in my garage. And then I took a picture of it all, and you can see my lawnmower and the garage door and all the shit. So now I'm actually in an office, and I'm, it's the best feeling ever to have your space.
I am really excited to get settled. I've enjoyed the flexibility. I've enjoyed traveling around. I've enjoyed a lot of things, but I am excited to get. I'm very much so a routine, habit-driven person, and this is fine. But I just really much so looking forward to the next chapter, which starts this week, next Monday, and I'm pretty excited. So thanks for all the kind words, Crypto Slam. Appreciate you over in the chat. Appreciate the tip over there, as well as Be Epic. My lunches, maybe dinners, are going to continue to be paid for by the generosity coming from Abstract. Also, Danny giving you some love over there, says Reality Check is the space to go every day. It's hilarious. Again, 11 o'clock here on X, on Abstract. Go hit that reminder up top. Even if you can't make it 11, go show Jesus some love for his time in Alpha today, was the reminder on the space. And we also did appreciate the insight over there. Thank you very much. I had to look. I couldn't see the Mato. Thank you very much. Appreciate the Pingu. We had some news this morning. I got to scroll back up because the Abstract chat's been popping off so much. At 8:30, we got core PPI, core retail sales, PPI, and the TLDR. I'll see if I can go find a link here in a minute or an article. But it says Crypto Scam 1 says retail sales slightly up, which is bad for crypto. Core PPI slightly down, which is good for crypto. So do with that what you will. I don't know. Doesn't look like markets have responded too much off of it. It's just been choppy this morning after being up pretty big overnight in the last 24 hours. We will get into a quick market update here in a second. Although before I move on, we also had a question from Crypto Scam, who's dialed in and well connected. Says, not real familiar with Mega ETH. Should I be? I'm biased. I do hold a Fluffle, which was an NFT that was has some token allocation. I also got in one of their last rounds, so I'm biased. I do have a bag. I have a financial interest. However, I am very bullish on Mega ETH. I'm really excited for it to go live for many reasons. I see Brett out there. I'm not just a fan of, and I think he's a great, talking about those professionals, but someone I would call a friend in the space. And it's not just Brett. It's the team and how they've been moving pre-launch, where they've been working with a lot of their builders. They've been having, they call it the Mega ETH Mafia. They've been having hacker houses and having these builders, I don't know if it's 10, 12 groups of builders come together for a month, live together in a house, build together. Mega ETH has funded some of these ventures, and they are launching like day one. I'm not trying to make this PvE, but Monad was a recent anticipated blockchain that launched. They're going to be fine. They raised a ton of money. One of my contrarian takes, I think Mega ETH will have I think Monad will have a comeback towards the end of this year after people kind of forget about them or chalk them off for dead. When they launched, though, it was like the basics. You could swap. There was just nothing to do. Like the game I was playing every day to have some activity was a beer pong game, and it was Death.Fun reskinned on Monad with beer pong instead of Death.Fun. Not knocking them, but conversely, what makes me so bullish about Mega ETH is when they launch, they've got not one, not two, not three, multiple dApps, multiple apps that are new. They're unique. They're novel. They're on chain, and also from the tech itself, they will be one of, if not the most performant blockchain at launch, like touting 100,000 plus TPS. And it's you'll see on-chain games that'll look and feel like Web 2 games on chain. So I am excited and optimistic that we'll also see new stuff launched after developers see how performant it is. I think we'll see maybe some new things we haven't thought of because people, you can't do that on chain. It just doesn't work. That's my quick Mega ETH plug. But yes, again, I am biased. But for those of you that are deep in the space, I think it would be worth putting on your radar and paying attention. Thank you for all the kind words on Helpful Soul and Crypto Scam for the congrats on the move and the keys. Yes, appreciate it. Excited. More pool days coming soon. Although maybe not, because I'm a softie, not since I moved to Florida 5 or 6 years ago, and we're looking at like freezing, like literally freezing weather this weekend. Friday is supposed to be in the 20s or 30s. So if I don't show up Friday morning, it's because I've frozen and haven't. I've got to de-thaw myself before I get on the show. But I digress. That said, I do want to get into before I get into a market update. Cheese, anything else that we didn't hit on Alpha, on farming, on airdrops, on anything launching soon, or anything else that's caught your attention that you wanted to share before I do a quick? And you don't have to go anywhere. I do want to get a market update and talk about these. What exactly is ripping, and then we will continue the combo. But anything we didn't hit on yet that you wanted to give a shout out or call some attention to?
No, I mean there's all kinds of crap out there, but no, nothing right off the top of my mind.
Again, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you coming up, and definitely added to the conversation without a doubt. I guess it's gonna be colder in Texas than it is in Florida, so I won't feel that bad. Here is, you know what? I'm going to give a free plug. I'm feeling generous today. So we're going to give a free plug to our friends over at Awaken Tax. This is not a sponsored market update, but I've got a quick 19-second intro here. So I'm going to play this, and then we will get to what is ripping in the market in about 19 seconds.
It's market update time. Let's set the play. Powered by Awaken, the smart tax way. From crypto flips to DeFi stacks. They keep it clean. Got your back. Grab your coffee. Let's break it down. Daily update right now.
I know I said I was going to go right into the market update. I'm going to just next, but related to the farms, I do have one that I pinned up top. Very low effort. Maybe nothing comes of it, but one of those that it's no capital risk. It's just clicking buttons. This could be something, maybe it's nothing. I don't know. I've got like no expectations, but it's one of those, fits into the bucket of very low effort, very low capital. Usually those don't pan out, but sometimes they do. It's ETH gas. And I will show you, mine is actually still, my gas report is still loading.
I was wondering what yours was.
Still loading. I've got 4,500 adventures. I think every time I go off the tab, it resets maybe or puts me in the back of the queue. I'm not exactly sure, but this is basically it's a GUI report, or the token's going to be GUI. It is you connect your, at minimum, you connect your X, you connect a wallet, you run a gas report. There's other quests and things you can do. I may or may not do that. You can refer people. That is my ref link up top, so you're helping me out a little bit. You can see I've got 40 beans over here because it's not completed my actual gas report yet. You can see it's still, I've got adventures ahead of me in queue, but I started it yesterday. It just hasn't completed. So I think you might have to keep it open for the time. Did you complete yours? What was your gas spent?
Yeah, I did this a while back. Total gas spent right now is 37.2688 ETH.
I'm gonna guess mine's probably in the same range. My gut says over, but it's probably close. I would say probably within 5 ETH, give or take.
Burnt the crypto punk in gas. Like
hurts
a nice punk.
Hurts
a punk and a ape and a pudgy.
Yeah, it hurts a lot more when you say it that way.
Yeah. Why do we do this to ourselves?
I mean, the reason we did it to ourselves is because most of those burns were very profitable. But there was definitely some that weren't. There was definitely some that, especially if you round trip some bags after burning a lot of gas, that's quite a bit.
I remember the doodles, man, and it was so chaotic, and gas was just so insane. I think I had like 9 or 10 ETH in my wallet, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna this will go through no problem." But I have screenshots where gas was like 60,000, 80,000 because it was throwing up such wild numbers because the spike was so high on that mint, and it was nuts, man.
If you weren't around here, I know it's hard to even get your brain around that when you look at GUI right now is 0.4, like it's in the decimals. I never thought that would even be possible because of how extreme gas was when I entered the space in 21, 22. It wasn't, I know a lot of people liking to talk about the other side mint. It wasn't just the other side mint. That was the most extreme example. It was the most anticipated NFT mint of all time. And you had, 50,000 people going for this to where we were paying multiple ETH in gas on one mint alone. But some of the others, I had like Punk's Comic 2. I think I minted 10 or 20 of those things and probably paid a few ETH in gas, but still made a profit because we were minting them for, 0.1 and selling them for 0.5. It's just it was absolutely a bubble. It
was a different time, man. It was so much fun though. Like we would get up, we would set alarms at 2 to 5 in the morning just to get up to do like these Ponzinomic games.
Yep.
Because gas was cheaper at like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yep.
And we were still spending over an ETH in gas to send these fucking pirates on a mission to go fucking get whatever. Fun times though.
Yeah, it was a blast. I know this is also a contrarian take, not popular with everyone. I miss the gas wars. I love the gas wars. To to me, it made mints more of a skill game where it wasn't just, oh, you had to be in the know or you had to get an allow list. I would much prefer Gas War than the Discord calisthenics or you got to do these 100 things. It was, I really enjoyed it. Like it got my blood flowing. It got, there was a chance. Now it got to the point where if you didn't get the mint, you really weren't burning anything. The transaction would just fail. But there was some where you might have lost, everything you sent in if you didn't hit, and got to the point where we were minting on contract. And it was just, it felt like, I don't know. I did enjoy it. And it also made NFT mints a game of skill beyond just getting lucky and pulling a rare or sniping some good traits, like sniping at reveal. Like it was a lot of fun. And I don't know. We'll never get back to exactly that period in time, and we'll never have gas like that again, unless I'm missing something. But yeah, I do miss it a little bit. Awaken Text is go to be epic. Use code coffee50 for $50 off if you're a new user, or return coffee50 if you're a returning user. Also get $50 off. Again, not a sponsored post. I'm not showing them. It's the best software, best tax software in my opinion. And if you're in the need for tax software, you may as well save $50. So happy to pass it along. Shout out to the Awaken Text team for providing us with those codes. And we may do another campaign with them here as we get closer to actual tax season. But again, that's just sharing something that I believe is best in class and a valuable tool for many of you, not just to prepare your taxes, but help you with tax loss harvesting and stuff like that as we come towards end of years. That said, moving into the actual market update here, we're going to start with memes today, and we'll kind of fly through this. But you can see Doge up 4%, Sheeb up 1%, Pepe up almost 10% on the day, Meme Core down 4%. To this day, I still don't know what Meme Core is, but it's the one that trades inverted to the market most days. It's down 4.2%. Trump up 2%, Bonk up 5%, Pingu up 5%, SPX up 1%. I haven't checked in on Murad for a while. He's completely fell off my timeline. I don't know if he's over on TikTok doing videos or what, but respect for not dumping his bags and holding through the bear. Loki up 3%, Fartcoin up 7%. Congratulations, Zane. Dog with Hat up 7%. And we got I'm guessing this is over on Appster. I guess I can't read it. It's in Chinese. I believe it's Chinese anyways, up 41% on the day. And that's the 13th largest coin by market cap. Heading over to, I'm going to delete the filters. We'll go to our majors and take a look at those. I would say Bitcoin, I think it's still going to show up. Yeah, up 4% on the day. Slight pullback this morning, but a big day there. ETH leading the charge, up 5.67% to 3,300. XRP up 3%, BNB up 3%, Solana up 2%, Tron up 1%. I mentioned Doge up almost 5%, Cardano up 5%. Now this is now I'm going to get the even though I unchecked ADA cryptocurrency, my X interest because I set it on a space. It's going to throw it back on there. Monero leaning into the privacy meta, up 6% on the day. Bitcoin Cash down 1%, Chainlink up 4%. Hyperliquid, that was the one I wanted to get to, up 6% on the day. And Zcash also up 1%. Good day there. I think equally as exciting is seeing some of this movement of the NFTs. I don't know what's going on. Good Vibes Club, not only is it programmed for 1 ETH, someone said the other day, and I thought they were crazy when I first read it or first saw it. I don't think it's too crazy anymore. Someone said Good Vibes Club's going to 5 ETH. I think it might. I haven't had FOMO like this for a long time on an NFT collection. And it's not just up 8% on the day. It's been up like 8 to 10% every day for the last week, I feel. I think in the last week, it's went from like 0.4, 0.5 up to 0.87. And part of that, what is not, you don't see here in this number, is it just ripped through a massive sell wall from the strategy wallet that had like 300 or 400 good vibes in it. And they all sold. And I thought it would stall out there. It just plowed right through the sell wall and continued to scream up. And now you have, when in a bull market, when things are moving up, the flywheel actually flywheel. And it's going to be, I'm very curious to see not just Good Vibes Club. You can also see Chimpers is up to 0.8. It's up 14% on the day. Those are the two that really leaned into the strategy token as their ecosystem token, didn't drop another fungible token, rather supported and threw all their support behind the strategy token. And so far, it seems to be a pretty wise move. We'll be curious to see Moonbirds is the next big one with a token coming as far as NFT collections go. They have a strategy token, but they're launching their own ecosystem token. Burb is coming soon. I think there was some new stuff on that as well. I maybe should go find a Spencer tweet if it is actionable or relevant. Other NFTs, though, before we move on, Punk's flat, 229. Basically, yes, Chases and myself both, we burnt a CryptoPunk in our NFT trading days in the form of gas. Pudgy's up 5%, or I'm sorry, down 1% to 5.1. I mentioned Good Vibes Club's absolutely ripping up to 0.87. Apes are up to 5.88, up 2% on the day. Hyper is down 1%. Moonbird's up 2% to 2.03. Little Pudgy's down 1% to 0.57. VFriends continue their surge, up 6% to 1.28. DX Terminal is favored OpenSea Farm. Milady Maker up 2.7% to 1.22. Chimpers, as I mentioned, up 14% to 0.8. Mutants down a little bit to 0.82, down 1% on the day. CloneX down 10% on the day, but still holding that 0.32 mark after following the acquisition. Azuki at 0.8, down 2.1% on the day. I'm going to pause there. We also have Cryptodes, Mochaverse, but Azuki down 2% at 0.8 has now been flipped. But I'm not making a PvP. I'm just stating facts. I'm just talking numbers. Been flipped by not only mutant apes, flipped by chimpers, or I guess it's the same price. Azuki and chimpers are the same now. And Good Vibes Club flipping Azuki. Geez, I'm going to write back to you. And if you don't mind, I would love if I could just hand you the mic for, say, 60 seconds. I'll mute my video, and then I'll just got to go a quick mobile stream drop. Going to reheat the coffee, and I'll be right back. Do you give me like 60 seconds of air cover?
Yeah, I got you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, because one of the biggest things that has it really hasn't surprised me a lot, but Genuine Undead. Genuine Undead, right now you're seeing it at 23.25% up. Floor price is sitting at 0.16 ETH, top offer 0.133 ETH. Well, 0.129 ETH now. But, this is up probably, I would say, like 120%, 130% from where it was, because a lot of just a lot of activity within the community. And for those of you who don't know, Genuine Undead CTO'd. If I'm remembering right, I get so much information from people on it. CTO'd, shortly after the artist had handed over things to the community. But I mean, big sales, way above floor price, 0.488, 0.50 ETH. So we got a half ETH sales. Yesterday had big sales as well. So that community is really, stepping things up. And it's just such an organic rise because they don't have a Spencer there, or a Luca, or someone like that, pumping things for them. It's the community, it's the vibes. And, they do have a token strategy. I'm not sure where that's at. I did have Token Works pulled up here so I could find it. But even, for the most part, that I do know that strategy coin itself is, it's held its own amongst some big monsters in the space. So really proud of the GU community there. And if you guys have never, even been in the Discord, I advise you to go in the Discord. Great group of people. Their market cap's at 164K. So they have burned 8% of the supply of their token. So so shout out to all the Genuine Undead family out there as well.
Yeah, good call out. And that's one that probably doesn't get enough. I don't think I knew it was CTO'd. I think I might have heard that, but wasn't for whatever reason that doesn't stick out of my head as that's a CTO. Love to see it. I do have the token strategy collections or tokens pulled up here. Punk strategy at 35 million, Vibester at 7 million or 7.6 million. That's up 12% a day. Chimp strategy up 26% a day to 4.83. Ape strategy even up 11% on the day to 1.16. Pingu down a little bit. I'm sorry, not Pingu. Pudgy strategy. Burb strategy up a little bit. Painster. This is one that I think is also a sleeper. Maybe I'm wrong here on the Pain strategy. Xcopy is one that is leaned into the burns many times throughout his career. And my speculation, I hold a little bit of pain strategy purely on speculation that at some point he might do a collection like burn, not just a, one of his other pieces, one of his conditions or something. But I think there could be a chance for we see some sort of X copy mint where it's the way to get into the mint is you got to burn some pain strategy. Maybe not. I'm pure speculation. I don't have any alpha. I hold a little bit of pain strategy. Like I say a little, it's like $100 or $200. Maybe I'll have to check. But it's up 6% of the day, just over $1 million. There are several here, but I think this is not for all. It's not a guarantee, but clearly, Vibe strategy, chimp strategy has performed well. You mentioned the burn. 16% of that Vibe strategy token has already been burned. This went live.
Wild.
This went live a few months ago. Is that right?
Yeah.
No, it's not been in the market that long. Already 16% of the total supply has been burned. Chimp strategy, 12% of the total supply has been burned. That's a big deal.
December 13th is when it went live.
That's crazy. So in 1 month, 16% of the total supply. Maybe that's not sustainable. Maybe it doesn't continue.
Oh, shit. No, hold on. I'm sorry. I was looking at Genuine Undead. Hold on. I'm sorry. Sorry. Wrong information. Let me go look over here real quick. Sorry. God almighty.
All good.
We are October 9th. So there you go.
Still, 4 months, a little over 4 months, 16% of the supply. Let's just say math continues on and 4% gets burned every month. Well, shoot, fast forward a year from now, and you're talking over half the supply's been burned.
Yeah.
Maybe the flywheel doesn't keep flying, but I think it's much more likely that flywheel does flywheel things in a bull market. When number goes up, it's going to go up on both ends, and things could get really exciting. I am part of my makeup, part of my strategy is I hate chasing. Soon as Good Vibes Club broke through that we'll say 0.69 ish wall, I was like, oh, this is going to run. And it has. I should have bought right then because I had a couple when I saw the wall. I decided to sell a few, and it was the right decision. The floor did pull back. It didn't make it cause it stalled out. It had halted momentum. It dipped back to 0.45, but I didn't re-enter as I was planning to, and so I didn't want to FOMO buy. Waiting for a pullback. So far, the pullback hasn't happened. It's every day has been up another 8-10%, and now FOMO is really kicking in because this is one I love the team. I could rock my honorary, but that's not what I'm going to be selling. So as far as a trading opportunity, it's money making season. Memes are back up. We've got not just the white whale. What's the whale that ran up to a couple $100 million?
Yeah, it's white whale.
Not only white whale ran up a couple $100 million, there's been several others that ran up to 10, 20, 50 million. And same thing with these NFTs. It very well could be money making season once again, and at least worth paying attention to this stuff if you're around here. No, not a bad question. Igoruri, I don't know. We don't know when abstract TGE is going to be. Do you have a guess on that, Jesus? If you were to no one's going to hold you to it, but any guesses when you think abstract TGE might hit?
Maybe March. March, April.
Yeah.
Maybe I would say.
I'm going to give myself more outs and just say Q2. I think Q2 is likely. Maybe they do get out in Q1, but I would guess sometime between April and June would be my guess. But yeah, we don't really know. It's not even been, as far as I know, it's not even really been teased as to when it might be. But that is a fire. That's a fire Good Vibes Club, by the way.
No, that's what I sold pre-reveal.
Oof.
What is the word?
Hold on. This is my first time seeing this trait. They have a Captain Chilla trait.
Bro, that is that's my biggest loss of the last year.
God damn it. I'm going to go spend an ETH on an NFT that I said I was
sold
not
that for
this year.
0.105 WETH. I WETH'd it. And the highest sale on it right now has been 3 ETH. The guy could probably list it and get 4.5 to 5 ETH. There was one that sold not long ago that was a Ranger like that.
Do you know?
There's only so many. I mean, there's only 2 with this helmet.
Do you know what the jacket is called?
I'm looking at it right now. It is Pilot Jacket Light Blue. There's 12. There's 12 of these. NFTs with that are listed right now. Oh no, there's only one listed at 1.49, and it has a pirate or a patch on its eye.
Pilot jacket, light blue. Because here's the thing, all the pilot jackets have something different. I only want the one that says.
Yeah, this one says Captain Chilla.
Oh my God! And this one,
it's number 2481. I'm about to drop the picture of it in your space. So not only does it say Captain Chilla, but it also has like a eye patch, which kind of goes with Captain.
Oh yeah.
It's got like a ball cap on. Backwards hat, light blue denim with the jacket, bro. This thing that one's smooth, bro.
I cannot believe I'm getting ready to spend $5,000 on it.
Oh no, Tipsy Taco. Do we know Tipsy Taco?
Tipsy Taco, do you want to trade? How about I'll trade you my identity. I'll trade you my ETH, my Captain Z.ETH, my ENS identity for Ray from 9gag. Buy my Captain.ETH so I can go parlay it into Captain Chilla here. Now I'm
Taco. That's who owns it.
Now I'm really FOMOing, because had I known there was a Captain Chilla trait, I probably would already have one in my wallet.
Yeah. But can you believe I'm such an asshole to sell that prior to reveal? It's the biggest miss.
It is, and it's the best Captain Chilla. Not to rub it in, but yeah, I got all 12 pulled up here. It is the best one.
Yeah, well, thanks for rubbing it in.
I saw the White Ranger sold yesterday too.
And that's what I was saying. Yeah, that White Ranger, I think it sold for like 4.5 ETH or something.
It is.
I'm not sure.
If you can see, it's probably a little kind of small on the screen here, but that is the other thing that is exciting about. Oh, did you see who bought Captain Chilla?
No.
It's going to make you feel worse or feel better.
So, like just now?
Who owns it today?
Oh, I don't know.
And I think they bought it. I think it was yesterday.
You talking about the one that I owned?
Yep.
Oh no, what?
Chris, the founder.
Chris has the one that I had?
Yep. Owned by Chris Guyot owns that Captain
Oh shit,
Chilla.
he does.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he said in one of my comments that he was going to go after it and get it.
He sure did.
Look at this guy here.
Dude, there's only 2 of those helmets in the collection.
Yeah, I know. I wonder what I need to do for Chris to get that NFT back. What do I need to do? I wonder if he needs his office coin.
Just screenshot the activity, the on-chain activity, and show him that you weethed it for 0.105, and maybe he'll feel bad for you.
He'll feel bad for a second, and then he'll say, big up vibes, bro.
I mean, to make you feel better, it was a profitable flip. You minted the thing for what, 0.069 and flipped it for almost a 2x. So GG. You made more on it than the next person. The person who bought it off of you only made 0.03 off of it. So you did better than the person who bought it off you.
Yeah.
And then
still brutal.
And then both you're down pretty bad. Yeah.
But man, this is what makes NFT trading fun and stressful at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's why I love NFTs. And
eyes forward, we used to say. This is going to sound silly today because no one's really like sweating reveals or selling pre-reveal. But that was a real strategy. It's like, okay, I'm going to mint 5 of these things. It's going to run up into the reveal, and I'm going to sell 2 or 3 of them to get back my initial investment. And then I'm free rolling a 3-pack for, I can sell one if it really rips. I can sell the other one midway, and I can hold one long term. The strategy was, though, is just eyes forward. Never go. If you sold pre-reveal, don't go back and look at the one that you sold pre-reveal, because if you flip a 101 or something ends up selling for 3 ETH that you weeth for 1.1, you might be down a little bit. But he said actually it wasn't a sale. Chris traded for that one because he has the red one as well for the double dip curation. So this is also, he said he'll never trade it back, FYI. He's obsessed. No
Who
chance.
said that, Mason?
Atari says he has the red one too. No chance. Dort added, he traded for it because he had the red one. Atari and Dort both said he'll never trade it back. No chance. He's obsessed with it. So
he told me that in several comments, like several things that I posted about like getting rid of it.
Here is some alpha though. Shout out to Dort, who is king of the good vibes. Dort says, make sure you shop Gandhi, which aggregates that strategy vault and OpenSea listings, so you can see which ones are the strategy. Because you get correct me if I'm wrong here, it's still an active thing. You get a badge if you buy one from the strategy wallet. Is that accurate?
I think so.
Yeah, that KZ Consulting said that GVC is so me. I'm a little shook right now because I had zero plans of spending 1.5 ETH on an NFT in the year 2026, let alone today. And I may be making some moves post show to go make that move. If anyone wants,
as my friend Kyle down there, or as he calls himself, an idiot, says, he thinks we're gonna look back a year from now and slap ourselves for not buying GVC because he thinks they're going to be worth a lot of money. He said under 1 ETH right now, you're not buying. He thinks it's a massive mistake.
I think the same. As much as I tell myself I don't buy rips, and it's ripping over the past week, it's a silly time to enter. I honestly don't know if we get a pullback, because it's not just the floor, it's not just a strategy. If you look at it's what we just talked about there, and like a founder trading for a 3 ETH asset because he wants to collect it and hold it forever. It's not just the founders. It's not just Adam Weitzman. Most of the sales are above floor. People are collecting ones they want to collect, not to flip because, I want this one in my vault. I want this one because I get these badges. Like they've really built an incredible community. You've got a lot of collectors like Dort will Dort sell some of his? I'm sure he will someday, but he's not. I really don't think he collected for a short-term flip. It's a strong community. And yeah, when I first read the take, all Good Vibes Club are on their way to 5 ETH, I kind of, just brushed it off. The more I think about it, I'm kind of agreeing with the take, especially if we actually do get a real NFT season. They're going to rip they might hit 10 ETH. If we get a real NFT season, I'm not trying to get everyone's expectation. Don't go buy Good Vibes Club, because I said they could hit 10 ETH. They could also go to 0.4 tomorrow. I'm just saying there's a lot more than just a random NFT collection. There's a lot more than just the art. Whether you like the art or not, it's high quality art. It's the opposite of low effort. The details are incredible, and the team is. I don't try to put pressure on them. I'll try to use hyperboles. I truly don't know if they've missed yet. Like, they haven't had a big blunder. They haven't had a big mistake. They haven't made a massive miss where it's turned people off. It's led people to floor their assets and get out. Like, I'm sure some people have left because they didn't like something, but I can't think of one specific thing. They're like, I'm leaving because the team did this, or they're not communicating, or there is no bad. Just like I said, I told people there was an alpha and going buying a CloneX mint bio because it was plus EV, and it actually wasn't, because the mint was actually closed. There's also no badge for those strategy NFTs. Appreciate the clarification, but it will burn some Vibester. So. But yeah, thank you very much for Dort and Ronnie for the clarification. I saw Mason came up. Mason, you may have jumped up to correct me on my my bad take there, that you could get a badge for that. But feel free to take it whatever direction you'd like. Appreciate you joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me up. I just wanted to jump up and clarify that. Badges are definitely the alpha. You still get badges. Every GVC you collect will have badges associated with it. They're kind of tied to the traits. But there is not a badge for buying, specifically the strategy listed vibes. That being said, if you go and you browse the strategy right now, the strategy is underneath the OS floor price. So definitely some advantageous opportunities there. I also wanted to give a huge shout out to Dort, because Dort has become like the mass curator of GVC. So as much as I hope he sells some, I think he's just gotten himself into this place where he's obsessed.
He is, he is, again, he's king of the good vibes. He is amassed quite the collection. I'm pumped for him too, because he isn't wavered. He minted them. He minted a bunch at Mint. He's continued to accumulate and collect, and you just love to see it. Not just because he's a friend, but
he's rocking the 101 champion of vibes. And if there's anyone that, demonstrates being the champion of vibes, it's Dort. Not only in GVC, but I think, among all the communities that he's a part of.
Wholeheartedly agree. Couldn't agree more. And truly love to see it. I mean, I love to see it, not just because a friend. I love to see when anyone, friend or foe, in this case a friend, makes a conviction play and their conviction is rewarded. It doesn't always happen. sometimes you can make big bets and have big conviction, and you had all the logical information right. The team was strong, and then some uncontrollable happened, or who knows. But I love to see when conviction plays are rewarded, and this one certainly is. But yeah, that definitely alpha there that you can go get a strategy one below the current floor. You got a small arbitrage, about 0.1 ETH, but yeah, 0.2 of them listed at 0.86. And by buying those, you're going to burn some Vibester as well. So go collect what you want to collect. No expectations here, but love to see the momentum. And I really, Chris and Tyler have become a couple of my favorite founders in crypto. And not only do I love to see Dort winning, but love to see that team winning as well. One thing I haven't checked in a while, I'm going to go do this on the recent run-up because this might also surprise some people. And for everyone that said royalties don't matter or royalties are dead, I said, no, they're not. They might be dead for you because you didn't make proper changes. We are going to be talking about some ways that existing collection could do that in the near future. The last time I looked at this chart, it was, we often see Good Vibes Club on the royalty leaders. We don't often see them in the top collections by trading revenue, but right there they are, just below Pudgy's on the 7-day. Actually, I think this just reset. So let's look at the month. So in the last 30 days, you've got Pudgy's, Bored Apes. You got to go all the way down here to see GVCs. Then we scroll down to royalties by collection, and look at that. Good Vibes Club, just the only collection that's generated more royalties in the last month is Pudgy Penguins, which sell at 5x, more than 5x per NFT. For those that said royalties are dead, go tell that to Ty and Chris. Go tell that to Good Vibes Club, who generated $80,000 in royalties in the last 7 days. Holy cow, that's in the last week.
Bro, tell that to Chimpers. They literally are like I think they're migrating their contract to enforce royalties.
They should. I mean, look at Quirkies in the last month. Quirkies doesn't do the volume of some of these other collections. They've generated 24 grand in the last month. Good Vibes Club, 126 grand in the last month. They're 7 figures a year in royalties because they launched a new contract and they did it properly. In the last week, though, 80 grand on this run up. That's good for them. I'm pumped for them. And I do think more collections should take note and move to or work with some companies. There's one that we'll be talking about here soon. We're going to partner with. We're going to partner with him because they reached out. They want to sponsor the show. They want to sponsor a segment, but also they have a solution that I've been beating the drum for a while. Like this isn't not knocking Moonbirds, but they have left I think probably easily 7 figures on the table in royalties since Spencer's acquired the collection. He doesn't need to rely on royalties, but I don't understand why. I'll share feedback with DMs as well. Like why they are leaving this money on the table, I don't know. I don't understand it. I'll probably never understand it, even if there's a good reason. They have generated almost 30 grand in royalties in the last 30 days. But when I sold an oddity a while ago, I didn't have the option of paying royalties. I was going to. I like Spencer. I like the team. I have no problem paying royalties, but it's grayed out. I couldn't even pay the royalty if I wanted to sell on an OpenSea. It's like, that is a miss. Part of what created so much momentum and excitement in NFTs was creator royalties. And I know some people hate it. Like, oh, why would you pay royalties? The people say that is like, okay, you're a trader and you want to make those few extra percentage points. I get that. I'm talking about from the business standpoint, from the collection standpoint, for those that are really around for the long haul, not just looking to make a quick flip in a day, a week, or a month. You want these brands to be generating revenue. And yes, they could do it in other ways, whether it be merch or vinyls or blind boxes. Why not royalties? Why not lean into something that this space was built on? And I don't think this is a coincidence. I don't think it's random. Has Good Vibes Club made a lot of right moves? Yes. Is what they did with the strategy token proving to pay out well? Yes. You know what else has fueled a lot of this that no one's talking about? Well, they also have a lot of resources. The team went and bought a lot of Vibester at launch because they're generating royalties. You want to talk about flywheel? Royalties are part of the flywheel that became a dirty word for some reason because of blur farmers. And these teams went away from like, oh, we're not going to move to a new contract. We're not going to enforce royalties because Because why? Because you care more about a trader who's just going to flip in and out of your collection than you do your own brand, than you do a collector who's wants to support you for the long haul. I'm going to end my rant there. Mason, go ahead and get back in here. And then I saw we got a few other speakers on stage.
Yeah, no, totally. I got a couple things to say. One, just in terms of the new contract, because I know you guys were talking about GU and Genuine Undead. Shout out to that team because they're already on a new contract and they already enforced royalties. So love to see it. Back to kind of like the whole what you were talking about in terms of like the team and things working. I completely agree, but I think one of the things that like I've been trying to scream from the top of the rooftops this week and the last couple of weeks is it's not only the team, but it's also the community. Like the community has kind of taken the playbook that the team has been running with. Like you see Ronnie going out and finding the best collectors in the space, DMing, making relationships, one-on-one conversations, and having that kind of like very genuine onboarding process. And the guy's an animal. He's everywhere. But then when you have a team that starts to see that, starts to replicate that, starts to say, hey, wait, I can do that. I can send a DM. I can bring my friends. I can bring the people that like I really enjoy being with, and I'm going to bring them to this environment and this vibe town that we're calling it. And that has just become such a like gas to the fire because now you have like the team and the community like working hand in hand, and it's something that like I've never seen before. You know what I mean? Like I've never seen the walls be just completely non-existent. You know what I mean? Like Ty and Chris are accessible 24/7. It's almost annoying, but they are, and the team knows that, and we just try to make ourselves as kind of servants to the community in many ways, but at the same time the community is like picking up the shovels and doing just as much of the heavy lifting that a lot of the team is doing. And I think that is why we're seeing this radical alignment across, you know, people talking about this community and talking about the success, talking about the floor price, talking about seeing us all on the timeline. Like it is a combination of the community really getting it, right? And that again comes down from onboarding people one-on-one, getting people that really understand it from the get-go. And so I don't know, I'm super big on that. Obviously the strategy token was like a big decision because we are dropping, like it's a token. There's a lot of things that go along with that. But if you've heard Ty and Chris talk, the reason why it was such a quick decision for them is because it was aligned with everything that they've been trying to build. You look at the streams we do. Chris is a master motion designer, like master, like top level. There is no one else that is opening the window at his level and just showing you, hey, this is my process. Let me show you how I do this. You know what I mean? And that level of authenticity lights a fire in our community because it makes people feel heard and seen. It makes people feel like, damn, this isn't like I'm on the same level as this person, you know, and it's incredibly inspiring when you're there. And I'm speaking from a holder, but at the same time, I'm on the team, so I see it from the other side too. So I just wanted to give a huge shout out to the community because they play such a big part in the energy and in the environment that I feel like all of us are feeling right now. Like I think we're feeling NFTs are back. Mm-hmm. Sure, I give huge credit to the team. I give huge credit to the art, but I have to give huge credit to the community that is like just showing up because that is such a big part of it.
I love it. I couldn't agree. But well said. Appreciate you sharing. Congratulations to you for identifying that early and joining the team. And you're right. Like what you just described, that's the magic of NFTs. That's like community became a buzzword and a lot of people took advantage of it. And it was often, sometimes it became like one way. It was the community give and not getting anything back. There wasn't this reciprocal, that the founders weren't accessible. You know, not only are Ty and Chris accessible in Discord, if you're at a crypto event that they're there, not only should you go hit up the Good Vibes event if they're having one, you probably join them for coffee. Like they are down to earth. They're humble individuals. You wouldn't know they're leading not just an NFT brand, but they've got a thriving business and Toast behind the scenes. It is people like Dort that drive that culture throughout the community. He says, you know, love, appreciates love. He has an ape on today on X because Welcome Apes is this afternoon. Him and Law, and there's others, but Law and Dort, man, as far as I know, they're the two still managing that Welcome Apes account and talking about community and community support. And they're the onboarding team for the Bored Ape Yacht Club. And they host a monthly space that's called Welcome Apes. I just pinned it up top. If you've not yet attended, whether you're in the Bored Ape Yacht Club or considering it or not at all, if you're in any NFT community, I'd encourage you all to go check out a Welcome Ape space. It's this evening at 4 p.m. this afternoon. There's already 134 people going, and it's not Bored Ape Yacht Club driving that. It's Dort and Law and others. Community is not a buzzword. It's very real, and it's part of what makes this space go. It's part of what makes NFT so great, and there's real network effects here. It's not just a buzzword. It's not just something you see on a deck. It's very real, and it really works when it's not just the community, but you have founders like Chris and Ty that are fanning those flames. And yeah, much respect. Congratulations to you all. I am
Cap. I got some alpha for you though before I go.
Let's go.
And shout out to Dort, because Dort is always looking out for the homies. So if you go on Gandhi right now, Cap, and you search for token 4740, there is a Ranger Chilla or a Captain Chilla trait listed pretty close to floor. You're also going to burn some token with it. Just want to let you know there's only 14 of them out there, and I don't think you saw this one listed.
You're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe. I mean, you probably will believe this. Guess who just tagged me in the war room with that exact same good vibe, with that exact same citizen? What is the proper word? Can I go to citizen? Is that right?
Yeah, citizen of Vibe Town.
Guess who just tagged me with that in the war room? That exact link.
It's either Dort, Joey, or Steve.
Oh, Dort. Nope, Dort. He just pointed the same thing out. He did this at 9:30, so 20 minutes ago. I just saw it. He says, before you buy, this one is only 0.95, by the way, from the strategy vault, and it's 4740, the exact one you're talking about, with the Captain Chilla jacket, the fancy glasses, and the comb over hair. Yeah, what a guy! What a guy! Go show Dort some love. Go hit, even if you can't make the Welcome Ape space, the Welcome Ape space tonight. Go hit that reminder up top. Give them some love on that. And he might have just saved me half an ETH, because while I do like the one listed on OpenSea for 1.5, I'd like this one close to almost just as much, and I would prefer to save a little over half an ETH. So good looking out. If anyone wants to snipe me on it, congratulations to you, but I will likely be making some moves after the show here and look to add this one to the collection. Captain Chilla's we got to get a Captain Chilla. That is the way to re-enter. Also, before I move too far away, an idiot will go to you right next, but keeping with the good vibes theme, going from Mason to Atari here. Atari wins, may not have a better I got distracted by another comment. It may not have a better X interest than did Steve or Briss Bryan, but Atari wins the meme of the day. I didn't realize when I turned video on that I would become a meme maker, but Atari wins screen share of the day. Peace Frog, if you're out there listening, we got another sticker queued up for you. Shout out to Atari for that grab. I don't know how I do this. It's not planned. It's not intended. I don't know how you're capturing it in real time, but it's even perfect as I have the Atari comment pulled up. You need to join the cult, bro, with this face here. If you're not looking on the live stream, it's worth going and checking YouTube just to catch this face that I made. I don't even know what I was saying or why, but once again, I've got half the stickers in the worm are now me making silly faces like this on stream. An idiot. GM, what brought you up this morning?
Yep, GM. Jesus invoked the good name of an idiot a minute ago. I just wanted to be clear. My take on Good Vibes Club potentially might sound to people like some dumb Moon Boy bag holder bullshit. I don't hold any Good Vibes Club, but I still think they're free at this price, and I would have one right now. My liquidity is pretty focused on farming abstract at the moment. But that take is not from a holder or someone with bag bias. I genuinely think Good Vibes Club is free under an ETH. I believe that wholeheartedly, and I'm hoping things line up right throughout the course of the year for me to end up with a Good Vibes Club or two or so. Yeah, we'll just see how that goes. And then you guys were talking about royalties. It sounds like everybody's pretty aligned up here on royalties. Good. I guess maybe just to play devil's advocate, I'll give a slightly more nuanced take. In my opinion, I think the royalties thing applies differently depending on what the shill of the project is. If it's like an art project, a community thing, whatever, I fully support royalties. However, I'll say this. I've seen a lot of projects that Like their elevator pitch is we're gonna build all these revenue generating products and things, but then they still have like 7.5 or higher % royalties. And to me, I get leery. If your shill to me is you're gonna build things that generate revenue for your company, but you still need to rinse me on trying to trade these assets. I grow very leery. But in the instance of something that's art based or anything like that, if it's an art project, I'm not buying it to flip it. I'm buying it to hold it long term. So 5% royalties or something in that instance doesn't bother me at all, not even in the least. So anyway, there's my takes on the subjects you guys are going over here this morning so far.
Well said. I agree. I would like to see, like, for those, I understand the pushback where someone's like, oh, I'm forced to pay royalties on this now. I bought this thing for 1 ETH, the founders rug, they quit, and now I'm trying to WETH it for 0.1. I'm down 90%. I still got to pay royalties. Screw that. I would love to see the evolution of protected royalties be, if you're selling it for more than you bought it for, you pay royalties. If you're down, maybe royalties are waived. Or I don't know the exact right answer. I do understand those frustrations. I understand that pushback. I understand all the team left. They're not doing anything. Why would I pay royalties on this? My point is, for those that are here, for those that are building, for the ones that are continuing to fan the flames of community, for the ones that are doing things for their community, royalties can make a big impact. Royalties can really build some serious momentum. I mean, again, Good Vibes Club, I don't have to go further than that as an example as to what royalties can make possible. And I don't know, maybe this is all a long con, and Chris and Ty are just milking these royalties, and they're building multi-million-dollar homes in Puerto Rico, and they're going to rug the project in 6 months. I would be absolutely shocked if that were the case. I understand anything is possible in crypto and Web3, and unfortunately, a lot of people did get burnt in the mania. And I think a lot of people are anti-royalties because of people that came in and extracted, people that grifted, people that were charlatans. The people who are still here, the people who haven't left, like, can that still exist? Yes. Man, if you look through that, the trending NFT collections that are like not a farmed collection, but ones that are actually punks, apes. I'm just going down the list from OpenSea. Pudgies, apes, punks, moonbirds, good vibes clubs, hypers, little pudgies. I'm going to skip over DX Terminal because I know that's a farm. V Friends, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, even Miladies. Like, they're not going anywhere. Like, is the founders going to do anything? I don't know. I don't know Charlotte. Chimpers is the next on the list. Like, they're worthy of royalties. Could things change? Could the founders change? Could the teams change? Could they sell? And yeah, it's all possible, but I'm very pro royalties. I understand it's a nuanced conversation, but I think a lot of teams that are still here, still building, that have good intentions and they're not malicious. I'm going to shout out Moonbirds because it has been one that's done a lot of volume, and they've not only not moved to a new contract, they've turned off royalties on some of these. I just think it's a massive miss. I would rather them make royalties on a collection. I'd rather them make royalties on the oddity. I sold an oddity for, I don't know, it was like, okay, it's $1,000. I would rather than made $50 on that than having to go buy 2 more blind boxes for them to get $50 of revenue off me.
Can I play devil's advocate on this specific instance, though? Is it possible to say that maybe turning off royalties promotes more volume, and more volume puts more eyes on your collection because you're higher up on the leaderboard of volume?
Sure, anyway, I guess. I mean, it's valid, but is it worth it? At what cost? Is that, like, if royalties were turned on, do we think Moonbirds would be at 0.5 ETH? I don't. Like, they still have a token coming. Everything else is still happening. Like, would there be a few traders? Oh, I'm not going to trade Moonbirds because I have to pay royalties. I got to make more on the spread if I want to make a profitable flip. Sure. Are there people flipping in and out of Good Vibes Club because numbers going up and it's an easy trade right now? I'm sure that's happening. I'm going to guess, if you look at I'm without looking at any data, sight unseen, but I would guess if you go look at the actual contract, go look at the on-chain data, that most of those Good Vibes Club holders are people that have been in the collection for months, if not from the jump. I don't think you're seeing people that just bought their first Good Vibes Club yesterday and then today they got it listed for sale, or they're thinking about WETHing it. Maybe. I say this because the market we're coming out of. Maybe things change if we actually get a full-on NFT season 2 and we get a real bull. Who's trading NFTs before, up until like this month, who's out there trading NFTs for a profit? Like, yeah, sure, people maybe are farming points on OpenSea or somewhere else, and maybe they go another collection. I think that's a net negative. I don't think NFT collections were meant to be traded at high velocity. I don't think NFT collections were meant to be bought one day and WETH the next day for rewards points for an NFT marketplace. I think I understand liquidity is powerful and you need buyer, you need attention. I think it's a net negative. I'm on record. I think blur farming, was it that it caused the downward spiral of NFTs? No, it didn't cause it, but it aided to it. It poured fuel on the fire, because not only would you have someone go sweep 100 of a collection and then dump them all into WETH bids, it turned off buyers. People weren't entering collections because they could see, oh, these 3 wallets are just farmers and they're going to dump these NFTs at some point. So I'm not entering now because I know it's highly likely the floor is going to crash afterwards. So I think royalties actually protect against that. As a collector, as an NFT brand supporter, I don't want farmers in a collection. I don't want people who are just trading in and out. If I'm a long-term supporter, if I'm along for the ride, I don't want those traders. I don't want that extra volume. And I think that the space is condensed enough. There's been enough consolidation. I mean, just look at that. I think that leaderboard's proof positive of this. Is like the ones here, they're deserved. They're not fly-by-nights. They're not going anywhere. Like, these are all collections minus DX Terminal, which is a farm. The rest of these are ones that I don't necessarily. They're not going anywhere. They don't need extra attention. They don't need extra volume to be successful. I hear your point. I'm not saying you're wrong. From my perspective,
I think it's unavoidable. I mean, like, if you want a full-blown NFT bull run, like, it takes volume to bring people in to pump those floor prices. You need the volume to attract the liquidity to take you back to the all-time highs or, beyond, I think. I mean,
maybe.
I agree with you. Ideally, most of the holders in your favorite NFT project are community members. And
exactly.
They're going to hold, and there's going to be massive supply control. But, man, you still need some flippers. You still need that volume to make your project relevant and on the board, I think, anyway.
Maybe. I mean, I understand the point. I just would also push back that it's every flipper that comes into a collection, you're just adding sell pressure. And if they buy 100, you just added 100 sales at some point in the probably not so distant future. While it can drive volume and eyeballs and attention, it also can crush momentum and create a downward spiral. And then that could lead to cascading liquidations on loans. And it's just like, we've seen this stuff spiral out of control. I think you eliminate that downside risk when maybe not eliminate's the right word. You mitigate the downside risk of bringing in those pure flippers that don't care about the collection. They don't care about the community. They're only in it for a trade. To each their own. Nothing wrong with that.
I would just say, I don't think you just mitigate the downside risk. I think you mitigate the volatility in general. So yeah, the risk is decreased, but the volatility overall is probably increased. So that all-time high giga pump to Valhalla, I think that also requires the liquidity that volume attracts. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, I would point to Good Vibes Club as showing that that's not been the case with them, as they've been in from the jump, and they've been over the past year since they've minted. I think it's safe to say they've been the best performing NFT.
Absolutely, and I agree with that. But I mean, my point is just, I mean, to Good Vibes Club specifically, Good Vibes Club has been, the most interesting mint, since the last cycle. I think that they would be, I mean, under the conditions of 2021, 2022, that floor would be 15, 30 ETH right now, right? Now, there would also be that massive downside risk. But, that downside risk is only there if you have massive upside to begin with. Anyway, by the way, correct me if I'm wrong. Everybody always blames Blur for the no royalties thing. Wasn't it Magic Eden that did it first and then came back to save the day of a mess that they initially created, and then somehow Blur got blamed for it all? I don't know. That's the way I remember it.
I don't think so. I mean, maybe I don't think so. I think it was Blur that was the first to go no royalties. At least with if it was Magic Eden first, I think it would have been just Solana NFTs maybe when ETH NFTs were still the main NFTs. I don't know. My memory is it was Blur that started that, but Magic Eden definitely dissipated for sure. KZ says, I thought that royalties being removed came from more from the flippers than the builders. A builder wouldn't care that royalties are there, knowing it goes to a project. A flipper doesn't want them for the bags. Yeah, I agree. Be Epic actually thinks it was Blur as well. I'm not certain on that, but I'm pretty confident that it was Blur that had a much bigger impact because their points, their farm was well before Magic Eden's farm. So even if Magic Eden didn't have royalties, I don't think they had near the volume. Blur dominated volume for a while when that, yeah, no one really used Magic Eden until they launched with Ordinals. People did. It just wasn't, like, relative to the volume Blur was doing, it was a drop in the bucket. I saw Blue jumped up on stage. Blue, we are getting ready to wind down here, but thanks for jumping up as always. Go ahead and get in here wherever you'd like, and then we'll let everyone get on with their Wednesday.
Hey, Jam, everybody. Far as who started the royalties, no royalties, it started with Farouk's room. And then Magic Eden announced that they were going to stop royalties. And then Blur came in. And behind the scenes, some of those same individuals were the same investors. Because they saw like a way to kind of like extract the whole entire overall community. And that's like the history on that piece. And then OpenSea came into that, and that's why we had all the issues. And then if you track OpenSea, there are big artists that did a whole bunch of drops on there. You have to go back and see that OpenSea wasn't really giving you your actual cut. So all those guys fell into the no royalties. They all had a meeting behind the scenes, and then they came out and rolled that out slowly. And they rolled it out through the spaces, because at that time it's basically whatever space told you to do, that's what people were following. And then as far as like royalties literally, for someone that's had royalties directly on chain since 2022, it's about like the opportunities and the resources. And when you present solutions that shut people down, that run solely off of speculation and that contribution, it totally shifts the market. But actual NFTs, the technology, and having royalties directly on chain for RWAs, for just artists, for these clubs. If the clubs really want to put something out in that rugged community, then put it directly on chain. Don't use payment processors, don't use all this other stuff, because a lot of these NFT communities aren't really operating directly on chain. And so if you have royalties that are enforced directly in the smart contract, it's not up to you to pay the royalties. It's going to automatically come out and go to where it's supposed to go. So if I'm trying to sell a house and I want to sell it and put a 1% royalty on it every time it's sold, then I'll receive that and recoup that. But it totally changes like business overall. But people have been trying to shift this back and forth, that royalties don't matter. It's because a lot of these individuals were extractors and ruggers. And so it's a lot easier to say, hey, I'm gonna promise all this stuff and then take the liquidity and just run. So you don't need the volume to be successful. If you run it like a real business and be honest and put stuff directly on chain, then you can see a totally different shift of like ownership and royalties that should come back to you.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, whether on chain or like, there's multiple ways to do it. I think more should at least strongly consider it, and especially those that have good intentions and building with their community in mind and have long-term plans. I see so many crypto native brands that are looking for some sort of product market fit, some sort of revenue source, and a lot of them continue to do Web 2 things, i.e., here's a hoodie, here's a merch drop, here's a blind box, here's some vinyls. Here, I'm not knocking that stuff. I get it. I just you're forgetting about one of the things that's I think it's low hanging fruit. Like, I certainly understand where an idiot's coming from. I don't disagree. There would be some people that are not going to enter a collection if royalties are enforced. I'm okay with that. As a collector, if I was a founder, I'd be okay with that. I'd be fine. I'm not looking for traders to enter this collection. Do we want volume? Do we want attention? Yes. I would rather drive attention other ways and get royalties than have to rely on traders and flippers and farmers to get the attention and the eyeballs, because then what are we getting? They're getting the attention of other flippers, farmers that are, I know they have a place. I'm not knocking flippers and farmers and traders. I'm not. I enjoyed Franklin's flips for 0.01 ETH as much as the next person. I'm just saying, I don't know as if they're really a net positive for most collections. For some, sure. I also understand if they're down and it's the founder's rugging, like, yeah, you don't want to be paying royalties on that. You don't want to have royalties forced. I get all that. It is very nuanced. I just think a lot, like, I don't think Spencer's going anywhere. I don't think Spencer has malicious intentions. I think Moonbird should be enforcing royalties, at least give people the option to pay royalties. Anyways, great conversation today. Really enjoyed it. The chat was popping off everywhere. We've held that #1 spot down in Abstract all morning. Shout out to all of you abstractors over there. If you have if you have Luca's ear, tell him if he's looking to make any crypto streamer $1 million from streaming on Abstract, he should look at who's the top spot from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday Eastern time. I would appreciate it. I kid, but not really. I would love a big Abstract stimmy, and I would keep streaming. I'm going to stream over there anyways, but I would keep streaming if he sends me 7 figures of Abstract. I would stream till on Abstract till I'm done streaming. You got my word, Luca. Just pay me. Pay the men. I can't even do the go watch Rounders this weekend. Anyways, I digress. Thanks for all being here. Really enjoyed the conversation. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern time. If you're looking for something else to attend today, though, might I call attention to up top to, well, the first link. Yeah, if you want to easy, low effort farm, go check out your ETH gas report. I've got 331 adventures ahead of me in queue now, so hopefully I get that report here soon. Go join the Welcome Ape space at 4 p.m. this afternoon. Whether you're in that community or not, I think you'd get some good ideas, especially if you're a community leader or community manager. And then last but not least, if you've got another space coming up here in about 49 minutes with Jesus, who gave us some great alpha today. He's going to be talking about the latest events happening in Web3, a 10K ToshiBet giveaway, Z tournaments, abstract chain updates, and OpenSea Wave 5. Go hit that up top, that reality check. Appreciate Jesus and all of our guest speakers today. Big Cuz ads in the chat. Those same people that wouldn't buy because of royalties are the same bozos farming and trading creator coins on Pump Fund. I tend to probably side with that take as well. And maybe some of those traders, flippers, and ones that are only here to grind out the small gains on NFT flip, maybe most of them have moved on to other things they feel is more advantageous for the high velocity trading and button clicking, whether it be creator coins or pure memes, or they're now trading perps. Like, there's a lot of things to do for a quick flip than just NFTs. And back in 21, 22, it wasn't nearly as many options on that front. So great conversation today. Really appreciate y'all. Enjoyed the conversation. We'll be back tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern time. Hope you all have a wonderful day, everyone.